Hey guys, what's going on? So this is going to be number one in my Spotlight series. Not technically number one because I did technically start this a very long time ago and I haven't gone back to this in a very long time, and I want to make this my new big feature for what I want to do with my channel, and I keep talking about it, and so I thought to do it because I got two pretty good gameplays, and I went to the beginning of this list, and 8 months ago I did a character spotlight for Tesla. It wasn't technically the first one, but it was like the first one that was just here, so I was like, why not do one for Tesla again? So I'm going to be remaking this series. And it is essentially just taking a legendary hero that I have at max and showcasing how it works. Now, I'm obviously using other legendaries, but I will not be talking about them specifically in depth. And I will save that for another character spotlight. So this is all about Tesla, and the main strength of what Tesla does, it is that it attacks the first target. And when you level it up, you also gain charges, and you have up to 8 Tesla level charges. And the way that it works is when you merge next to a Tesla, it gains a charge equal to its level. So if you have a Tesla that is merge rank 4, it has the ability to get 4 Tesla charges. For each charge that it gets, it attacks one more unit on the field, so it effectively constantly does AoE damage. The AoE damage used to be very good in death waves, and now because everything is phantom mode, it is less good than it used to be. When it was death waves and when it was a constant stream of monsters, you had the ability to take down all of your the monsters on the field, as well as do damage to the boss that would also be coming out. And so when death waves was around, it was very good, and it's pretty much fallen out of popularity for a number of reasons, but the main one being that. Another one being the fact that they introduced Pantheon, and anything that's not an event unit is pretty much useless. So I wouldn't recommend investing into this, but if you did want to know what it does, this is the video for you. There are two different versions of Tesla, and it's the Electro Chain version and the Professor version. The Professor version is the better version, but there's a lot of people that would like to look at Electro Chain as a better version of an engineer deck, and in some ways, yeah, it kind of is, but I will showcase the reason for why everybody uses Professor over Electro Chain. Electrolysis. Okay, I should probably explain everything. Electro Chain is going to be your engineer type deck. You're gonna connect 8 Teslas in the chain, and for each Tesla that you chain together, or that you link together, that are touching each other, you're getting a 1.2% per merge rank in proportion to the number of Teslas in the chain. And so it sounds very good because you have 8 Teslas, you have a bunch of merge ranks. It should be pretty good. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not. It's good. It's just not better than Professor. The way that Professor works, you have a Professor that is on the field, and essentially this is how this deck gains stacks. Stacks, for if you don't know, when we say stacks, there are stacks that are on the field. For instance, if you ever play Floral Frenzy Blade Dancer, Blade Dancer has stacks on each Blade Dancer, but if you lose that Blade Dancer, you lose not only that Blade Dancer, but you lose all the stacks that it gained. Blooming Dash, however, does invisible stacks, where even if you lose a Blade Dancer, yes, you're losing the Blade Dancer, but the amount of stacks that equate to damage, you don't lose. Professor is unique in the idea that your stacks that your Professor is gaining are all on the field. So whenever you merge, whenever a Tesla gains a stack, right? So when it goes from, let's say it's a merge rank 4, and it starts at 0 stacks on the Tesla. When it goes to 1, your professor also gets 1 stack. When it goes to 2, your professor gains another stack. It only gains, the professor only increases in stacks when your Tesla gains a stack. So once your Tesla is at an 8 stack and you merge a thing next to it, nothing happens because it's not gaining a 9th stack, which means that you need to summon in Teslas in order for your professor to continue gaining stacks. I'll showcase that when the professor, in my professor gameplay. And then it also, so with all the stacks that your professor is gaining, it is also in proportion to its merge rank. So you do need to level up the professor in order to get a bigger damage bonus. But you are getting, your field is gaining a damage bonus equivalent to the amount of stacks that the professor itself has, as well as the amount, the merge rank that it is at. So you do need to merge it up in order to get a bigger damage bonus. The other thing to note about the professor is the way that you get it. If you do not have a professor on the field, when you merge a Tesla, any Tesla, anywhere on the field, it automatically becomes a professor. If the professor dies, as opposed to my Floral Frenzy example, where if your Floral Frenzy Blade Dancer dies with 20 stacks and you lose everything, if you get a professor back onto the field and it had 20 stacks, your new professor will also have 20 stacks. It should also be noted that you can also, if you wanted to, merge 2 professor, or you could have a singular level 1 professor on the field. You could merge another Tesla onto it, and it'll become a level 2 professor. You could then take a level 2 Tesla on the field, merge it to the professor, and it'll become a level 3 professor. And in that way, you can also upgrade your professor kind of manually. Electrolysis is going to be your standard cleanse. I would never use it, and the reason why is because if you rely just solely on this to cleanse your Teslas, you're missing the real problem with the Tesla deck. The problem with the Tesla deck is that one of its effects is that you have the ability to go beyond, you have the ability to go beyond 7 charges, and you can go to an 8th charge. I believe that's the Megawatt, the level 15 talent. A charged Tesla of merge rank 7 may gain an additional charge, which increases his damage by 13%. Charged Tesla's critical damage chances increase by 2%. When you have a level 7 Tesla, if you have the Megawatt ability, you have the ability to overcharge it to an 8th stack, and then it also gains a 13% damage boost. Obviously, this is what you're going for. You're going for a level 7 Tesla with 1 extra charge on it, and then it gets supercharged. The 13% extra damage boost is going to factor into your Lightning Strike, which is your second ability. But going back to Electrolysis, the reason why you're not going to run that is very specifically because if your level 8 Tesla loses 1 rank, if your level 7 Tesla with an 8th charge loses 1 rank, not only are you losing the attack speed that you gain per rank, and the attack speed, as we'll talk about in Lightning Strike, not only are you losing out on the attack speed going from a 7 to a 6, but you're also losing out on the 13% boost that you're gaining. Losing a rank on a Tesla is super detrimental. You lose any deck, losing a rank is bad. With a Tesla deck, when you have it at 8 and it goes down to 6, it's crazy bad. you lose so much damage just by losing 1 rank, which means that you're gonna have to run Mermaid. You need bubbles. You need the protective bubbles on your Teslas. In terms of gear, and I will go back to the everything else. The gear that I would tend to run. This is just all my. This is all my techno gear. I would always run a spear because, and I will go back to it, you need attack speed. You need as much attack speed as you possibly can. If you are running the professor build, I would run a growth tile very specifically because with four tiles on the field, you will be able to position your knight statue that you're going to use with sharpened spear. You will be able to position a knight statue somewhere on the field where you should have access to 3 of the 4 stacks, 3 of the 4 growth tiles, and so you're gonna build small. Again, I'll go into this when I do the professor gameplay, but you're gonna want to build small, and so you'll use the 3, or you'll use 4, the 3 of the 4 tiles, and then have a 4th Tesla somewhere, and then bounce stacks, knight statue stacks on the other 2 squares. Again, this will make sense later. If you do want to run the other version, where you're running the Electro Chain, the only thing that I would switch out is Amioda Swiftness. You just need the Amioda Swiftness in order to give your entire field a boost. But again, I wouldn't recommend it. And then on this last one, you have 2 choices. High voltage, each charged Tesla increases the damage of all Teslas by 3%. This might sound good with Electro Chain because you're running so many. 7 or 8 times 3 would be 24% damage as generic damage. I don't think it's better than Lightning Strike. With Lightning Strike, with a chance of 2.3% per merge rank, Tesla attacks may cause a Lightning Strike dealing additional damage equal to 100% of the Tesla's damage. This is where all of your damage is coming from. This is why I say that you need to have high attack speed. This is why I say that you need to have a merge rank 7 to get the full benefit of the attack speed by merge ranking it up. Also, with Megawatt, all of this, hopefully you see how all of this connects. Now, a lot of people think that Electro Chain is good because you're running a large quantity of Teslas and it has to be good. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not. These are the 2 gameplays that I'm going to be showing you. And in one gameplay, obviously this bottom one, I do 66.3 billion damage. I'm running a Tesla, I'm running a Scrapper, I'm running a Trapper, I'm running a Chemist, and I am running a Kobold. The Kobold because when you're running Electro Chain, you don't have any way of gaining stacks. You don't have continuous damage in any way, shape, or form, which is why the Professor version is a lot better. And I'll go into that. So the thing that I'm fixing with a Kobold is that when a Kobold goes into the square, you're gaining damage forever. You're gaining infinite damage forever. Every time a Kobold goes into the hole, you're gaining a damage boost. And then I am running the Miner's Light. So when I have a level 7 merge rank Kobold on the field, it's giving my entire field a 21% it's crit a 21% crit damage boost, so that is also a factor. I'm running double, or technically I'm running triple defense reduction, so I'm running the Scrap 'em all talent, the Acrid Waste talent on my Scrapper, and then Trapper, and then Chemist. All of this stacks, and so it should be good. I'm gonna tell you, it's fine. It's okay. I'm gonna pause this and get to 5 minutes, and then Okay. So we still have 5 minutes of gameplay, so you will be able to see all how everything else works. And I did find out that my the app that I use for my recording also comes with this handy dandy Paint notepad, way for me to interact with the screen kind of thing here. So right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Teslas. Actually, I'm going to use this one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Teslas. We have a level 7 kobold in this corner right here. And then the reason why, the way that I got that was I had it was a legendary upgrade for co-op where one random thing on the field goes to level 7 and they just happen to level up my kobold, which was really cool. We have this chemist over here, and all we technically need is 1 or 2 trappers, which we will get in the next couple of seconds. And then in this center spot, now this was just perfect. I happened to have a Tesla in the middle, and then it died. And then this spot is actually completely perfect because I'm running because I'm not running the cure side of the level 11 talent. The level 11 talent on the right side is going to be if you merge next to a Tesla, it has the chance to give another Tesla a charge. So let's say this Tesla over here is a level 1, but so you would have to have something here in order, and merge something here in order to give that Tesla a charge, which obviously becomes a problem. But if you have the right side talent, if you merge something in the center, like if I have 2 scrappers and I merge them into the center, it's because it's touching all 4 of these, it has the ability to then have 4 chances to throw a charge to literally any of your other Teslas that you aren't touching. And it just makes having having full stacks, having full charges, just much easier. You're not going to be running the electrolyzed or the cure side talent anyway, and I really like the right side. And so here we go. So right here, you'll notice that everything that's in yellow I'm under leveled. I probably should have mentioned this earlier. Okay, so this one is a level 1, and it has 1 charge. This one is a level 2, and it has 2 charges. This one is a level 3, but it only has 2 charges, which means that this needs another charge in order for you to gain the ability to deal that amount of, or to deal chain damage. When you don't have it at the max charge that it can be at, it doesn't do chain damage. Likewise, this one is a level 5, but I only have 4 charges on it. So that's also something to note. The end game for this deck is obviously just to get to fill up my field essentially, and then to get to bounce kobold stacks, or to bounce my scrapper with my kobold just in these 2 squares, to get a trapper like right here, leave this space open for scrapper merges, so that I can give things stacks, that give things that are outside of my range stacks, so that it becomes easier. Like I said, if you don't have that talent, in order to give this guy a stack, you would need to merge over here, and it just makes it easier to run the right side talent. The right side talent being supercharge. So right here, I'm basically in my end game. I have 2 trappers, I have a chemist, and the reason why this is bad, twofold. The reason why this is bad is because you're not gaining you're not gaining a lot of stacks. You're gaining kobold stacks. And then the other problem is that your scrappers, because you're trying to build way too many things, you're trying to build seven Teslas to rank 7, to merge rank 7, and then you're also trying to level up a kobold, and you're trying to level up a trapper. You're trying to level up too many things, and what happens is you get spread really, really thin. And because you want to get to that level 7 so that you can get to the charge rank 8 in order to get that plus 13%, it's very, very difficult to have this many things on the field and have randomness, random level ups with Scrapper. You'll see that I do pretty well, but that is also because I also get another legendary upgrade, which is everything on the field goes up 1 level. So that helped. But if you're playing a regular game, you're not going to get the legendary upgrade of, you know, merge rank 7 your kobold and merge rank up your entire field. You're going to have to do all of this yourself. And by yourself, I mean the randomness of a scrapper upgrading. As you can see here, the crowd control with a Tesla deck is crazy. The chain damage and being able to, even if you can't kill the front thing, but to keep dealing damage to the things behind it, is the main strength of Tesla. But like I said, because everything is now burst damage bosses, it doesn't do... it doesn't do as much burst damage as you would think. There is a better version, and it's going to be the next version that I show you, which is the Professor version. I have 31 kobold stacks, which isn't great. It takes a while to get this set up to where I want it to be. And so that is going to affect your kobold stacks. Not having a gunslinger is also going to affect your kobold stacks. Part of me would want to run a gunslinger in here. Maybe instead of the chemist, maybe. I was just trying to look for an easy version where I can just let everything sit. You could probably easily switch out the chemist for a gunslinger, and you could probably, if you have this, if you create this opening, I'm not really sure if the way that gunslinger, if it does it in a grid, like a flicker grid, if you were to... If you had this... Oh, this is basically where I die. So I'm going to pause this right here. Oh, no, I'm not going to pause this right here. There we go. I'm going to pause this right here for 1 second. I suppose if you had a kobold... if you had a gunslinger and you replaced it with this chemist, if you had this... if you switched these spots, I'm not sure if you go into the center with a gunslinger, if it only goes and upgrade, or if it gives the 15% bonus to this in the same way that like a knight statue would, or if it gives it to everything in the way that like a flicker would, like the flicker kind of like upgrade, the flicker way of of moving. Like, it had the ability, before it had the ability to move anywhere, it had the ability to move like in adjacent spots. I'm not sure if a gunslinger gives it to a T, or if it gives it to like everything in that square. If you had a gunslinger right here and then you merged it into the center, I suppose if that were the case, you could probably do this and it might be a little bit better. I don't know. I suppose maybe even just getting 4, even if it was the weakest version of it and it was just the 4, maybe that's good enough, and maybe that makes it better. That probably makes it better than a chemist. So I guess if you are going to try that, you should run a gunslinger instead of a chemist. And this is going to be professor. And even with the gunslinger, even without the gunslinger, you're going to see how much better this version of the deck is. So I'm going to pause this and then get to 5 minutes into this video. Okay. So this is the idea of people thinking that more is better, and in fact, less is better. If you run less things, especially if you're running Scrapper, if you are running less things on the field, the higher ranks those less things will get. So the way that I've built up this board, I am using a growth tile. And I have a growth tile right here, right here, right here. These are going to be the 3 growth tiles that I'm using, which, like I said earlier, if you are running a Sharpened Spear Knight statue, there's usually a spot, because the other growth tile is right here, there's usually a spot where you can utilize 3 of the 4 spots. Now, I chose to put my Knight statue right here, because it does here and here, which means it's touching those three other spots. What you could do, if you really wanted to, you could have had the Knight statue right here, because it would also cover those 2 squares and this square, and then this is the one that it wouldn't cover. And then you would just do the exact same thing that I'm going to show you how to do. But what I found is that, yeah, like when you run growth tile, a legendary growth tile with 4 growth tiles, there's usually a spot on the field that will touch 3 of the 4 tiles. So I have my Knight statue right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm using this square as a ditch square. I call it a ditch square. I have my Scrapper, I do my Scrapper merges onto it. And then if I get too many level 1 things, I usually gunslinger the level 1 thing onto it and then merge the 2 things onto it. And so it's not just when you want to grow growth tiles, you don't have to just grow growth tiles with just scrappers. You know, like putting 2 scrappers onto it and then minusing and then waiting for a scrapper and then putting 2 scrappers onto it and then minusing. You can move the scrapper off, put 2 trappers onto it, merge the 2 trappers, then eat it with like a level 2, then merge down, and then merge up, and then put 2 level 1 something else's. You don't have to just do it with scrappers. The other thing to note is that, like I said, with your professor, my professor is over here in the corner. In order for your professor to get charges, you need to level up new Teslas that come onto the field. So what I'm doing is I'll erase all this here. What I'm doing is I'm actually moving a Tesla here whenever I get a new one, so that when I merge onto this square in order to get growth tile stacks, I'm also merging next to a Tesla, and then I have the ability to then just scrapper the Tesla as soon as it gets a charge, because that's when that's how the professor gains charges. I'm only running 4 main Teslas, 2 on my growth tile. 3 on my growth tile, 3 on my growth tile, and then just this one right here. Running 4 Teslas is basically what you're trying to do in order to gain knight statue stacks, because if you remember, your knight statue stacks can also gain stacks. I'm trying to keep this spot and this spot free. And so if I can, and to keep bouncing summon-ins onto those 2 tiles, and because if either summons it, if either of those are a knight statue, my knight statue will then get stacks. And that's pretty much my end game. The other thing to note is that when you gunslinger into the knight statue spot, you will be getting the 15% speed bonus to these Teslas. So if I were to leave my gunslinger right here and gunslinger to the knight statue spot and then back, all 4 of my Teslas are gaining 15% speed boost, which is obviously increasing their chance to do 100% damage. So I'm just gonna let you watch this. And that's pretty much it. That's Tesla in a nutshell. You'll see, so with this version, the reason why it's so much better is because you're gaining knight statue stacks, you're gaining professor stacks, and you're able to utilize a gunslinger to its full benefit. And because you're trying to run less, Teslas, you have a higher chance of getting those Teslas to level 8, even with Scrapper random upgrades. You have less things on the field, and so therefore your everything on your field is going to get hit more and more with your Scrappers. When you're trying to run 7 or 8 Teslas with the Electro Chain, and you're trying to run 2 Trappers, and you're trying to run a Gunslinger or a Chemist, you're trying to level up too many things. When you have less things, you have the ability to be better. In some cases, less is more. That's actually pretty much everything that I had to say about Tesla. I hope I never have to talk about Tesla again. No, I don't know. If you do have any questions, just let me know. I wouldn't recommend this. I wouldn't recommend Tesla at all in this new format. Despite how powerful this might look, I don't think Tesla works anymore, specifically because you need single target max damage. You need a unit that has the ability to gain stacks itself. In this way, that's why Professor is so good. But Professor is also something else that you need to upgrade on your field in order for your Teslas to be good. Whereas most good units don't need a secondary unit in order for it to be good. It would just gain stacks by itself. Blooming Dash Blade Dancer gains stacks by itself. Bard gains stacks by itself. Treant gains stacks by itself. Things like that. Needing a Professor that sucks up Scrapper hits is a detriment to this deck. At some point, I do realize that this Gunslinger should be next to the level 6 in order for me to get full benefit on bouncing. Right here is where I get it. And when I bounce back and forth, it gives my entire Tesla field 15% speed because of the high charisma. You'll see me just melt the boss right here. The extra speed that you're getting off of the extra speed and the extra crit chance that you're getting off of a Knight statue, and then the plus 15% that you're getting off the Gunslinger added with the spear. It's just, yeah, it's gross. This next boss in the 9th minute is the one that I died to in the Electro Chain. And you'll see how, not completely easily, but how I am able to deal with it much easier than the not dealing with it that was the Electro Chain deck. Like, look at these levels. I mean, I got a full field upgrade, but I mean, like, I have 3 level 8s, I have a level 6, 3 level 8 Teslas, a level 6 Tesla, 2 level 8 Trappers. I have the ability to run another Trapper, so I just think, why not? Right here is where I start realizing that I could bounce and gain Knight Statue stacks as well, which is another way to gain a damage boost as well. And then this is my end game right here. I can just keep bouncing back and forth with the Scrappers to gain Knight Statue stacks. Right here is that boss that I died to. It's still rough, but I think I did pretty well. I'm now having to deal with his boss and my boss, but because of the chain attack, I'm able to just clear it. I pretty much die here because the insanity of endless co-op. This is where basically everybody dies. But I do pretty well. I do pretty well here. These are like 1.3 billion damage, like regular monsters. It's crazy. I do 137 billion damage. I think with Electro Chain I did like 63 billion damage. The difference is crazy. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next character spotlight.